Alright, translucent application, also called painting with washes, is pretty much like painting like you would watercolor. Remember, a wash is simply mixing water with paint. You're going to start with just a base coat on everything. So I'm going to do my background, and I'm going to take some of the paint, and I'm going to get a nice watery consistency, just like you would your watercolor in its palette. By watering it down, you can actually get a graded wash. You can do a color graded wash. I have my picture of my pear here. The big difference with painting with washes is you can't cover over a mistake. So when you were doing your other painting techniques and the acrylic paint was actually heavy, if you painted on the pear itself, it was no big deal because your painting, when you got to the actual pear part, would actually cover where it crossed over. So you really want to be careful about going around your edges. We're going to do a really light value of the background. We'll do the same thing for the bottom. I'm just going to go back and forth. I don't know how well you can see the bottom here, but I actually had a drip of paint that was on the paper prior, and because this is so thin, you can actually see that drip of paint. So you want to be careful that your paper is actually really clean when you do that. That really doesn't take long to dry. Right. When I'm doing my pear itself, I'm going to first start with the shaded areas. So I want to get more of that tone of green for my shadows. And my shadow is on the left side, so I'm going to actually get this darker value in here. And I'm going to mix a little bit of water with it so I get more of a graded wash coming to really light along the edge. Where my highlights are going to be, I'm actually going to leave it just the white of the paper. And I want to still paint in the direction, so it's a rounded pear. I'm going to make it a little bit rounded. Darker shadows underneath there. When I let that dry and I paint over it with just a plain green, or a really light green, it's actually going to show that darker value behind it. So you'll see where it's very light on the left side. Flip it around in just a minute. Darker value on the right side. Here's actually one that's done. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a darker value at the bottom for my shadows. I'll go in and do a wash of white for the highlights. And then I can just keep building it up just like I would a watercolor. And that is called translucent application or painting with washes.